Snoopy, Beethoven, Marmaduke, Benji, Toto, Shiloh, Old Yeller, Air Bud, Clifford. Besides all being great Xbox Live usernames, these are a handful of the more well-known and beloved of our four-legged friends. Some may say best friend. Now, training your untamed, uncultivated pal may seem intimidating at first, which is why I would like to inform you of several habits you can start right now to teach your dog basic behaviors. A little act right, if you will. I would also like to focus on the trinity of simple tricks: sit, down, and stay. So if you're a cat person, now's your chance. Cat people, exit left. Everyone else, stay right where you are. You're in good paws. Here are several methods you can employ in teaching a man's best friend to be the most best and the most friend they can be. First things first, experts have stated, and I'm sure you can decipher this for yourself, that a critical time period of training for a dog is from 2 to 14 weeks when they're young. To be young again. Rachel Jones, a certified dog trainer through the Certification Council of Professional Dog Trainers, has been training and caring for dogs for over 15 years. She is also the on-set trainer for the National Geographic show, My Dog Ate What? Rachel cites this time period, 2 to 14 weeks. During this time is when the puppy's brain is at its peak absorption for learning and growing accustomed to the world around them. Rachel observes the stimulation a young pup receives when surrounded by a myriad of elements from the outside world. They become more of a challenge and more difficult during training if the dog has a history of being isolated or kept in a kennel. Now, second things second, when training your dog, or any dog for that matter, the foundation that your commands will be built upon is that the dog looks up to their handler with respect. The handler is the leader, not the led. The handler takes their dog for a walk, not the other way around. To become this alpha or pack leader, so to speak, requires several weeks of laying simple ground rules, having patience, consistency, and keeping serenity. Serenity is key and not emphasized enough. For example, if you're trying to command a dog to stop barking so you raise your voice and scold the dog in response, this will often have the opposite effect. Cindy Moore, founder of Canine Web, a forefront of dog-related news and FAQ since 1992, says more times than not, the dog will interpret your yelling as you roughhousing or barking along with them. Cindy represents a highly regarded tactic used to quiet barking, which is to simply ignore your dog until they stop barking for a few seconds. Once they have stopped barking for a moment, put your attention back on the dog and reward them with a treat. Gradually over time, the goal is to extend the length of time the dog has to go without barking before they receive a treat. This may take a while. An important guideline when training dogs is to use repetition. Dogs are trained through repetition to respond to positive reinforcement as opposed to negative reinforcement. Dogs are unique in this way. The dog, since being domesticated, will readily accept the dominance and leadership of humans if the dog looks up to that person as the pack leader. This does not make a dog unintelligent because it takes orders, rather the opposite. The canine is smart and will instinctually follow the path laid out by an owner who commands their respect. Ways to command a canine's respect are as follows: staying calm and being confident. Sarah Wilson, author of 9 dog-related books with a master's degree in human-animal relationships, says in the book Pause to Consider that dogs are instinctive and can sense if you are anxious or nervous. They are less inclined to look at you in the alpha role and follow the commands you teach them if they sense that you are nervous or unsure of yourself. Your dog will read this unfavorably and think their pack, i.e. you, needs protection and direction. Although training methods to assert your dominance is to set boundaries and limitations. Channel the dog's energy through scheduled activities. Set rules for your dog on when they can leave your side, go inside the house without permission, and so on. Methods of this technique involve building a reward system and to withhold their rewards until you feel they are complying. Wait until they are calm and submissive before feeding them is an example. Another example is clicker training, or a mark and reward system. This tactic involves creating a strong association between the dog hearing a clicking sound and the dog receiving food. Every time you use the toy to make a click, follow that click with a treat. The click becomes extremely useful as it communicates to your dog the exact moment or action they are performing that is being rewarded with a treat. Clicker training is highly regarded as an efficient form of positive reinforcement, as dogs will naturally perform the behaviors that get them something they want and will get their handler to produce the clicking sound. Now, here's what you've all been waiting for. I want to leave everyone here today with 3 of the most important commands you can start teaching your dog right now, today. Let's start with sit. Sit is not only considered the most basic fundamental command to teach your dog, it's also the easiest.
Hump day.
Get your choice of treat, put it in near the dog's nose, lift the treat upward and say sit. Now usually your dog will lift its head to take the food. When he or she does this, use your free hand to guide the dog back down to a sitting position. Once they do this, say sit, and your dog will be sitting down at this point. So praise them and say, good boy, good girl. Scratch your dog behind the ears. You know, they probably got a quarter stuck back there. Follow these steps a couple times a day, daily, for a couple weeks, and they should be ready to go. Or should I say, ready to sit? Next is the down command, which should only be taught once the dog has mastered the sit command. This command is a bit more difficult for a dog to learn, so patience is key. Get a nice smelling treat and keep it held in a closed hand. Place your hand up to the dog's nose. The dog will then sniff the treat. After they've got a good smell, move your hand with the treat in it to the floor so the dog will follow it. As your dog is lying flat towards the ground, say down. Now give your dog a reward and praise it. Last one is stay. Teaches self-control for the animal. Tell your dog to sit. Once they have sat, hold your palm out to the dog and say stay. This command is a bit more difficult. You want to create distance between you and your dog by taking steps backwards, with your hands still outstretched. When your dog stays put, even if only for a couple moments, give the dog a reward and praise. Over time, increase the number of steps you take away from your dog before praising them. In conclusion, my goal here today was to introduce you all to the essentials of dog training, why it's done, the steps that should be taken in order to get the most out of your training sessions, and 3 essential commands you can teach your friend right now, and how to do it. I wish you and your 4-legged friends nothing but success. Thank you for your time.